Beautiful, beautiful. You put me in a different mood. I feel like just relax and get to. So if you enjoy yourself, let me hear you say yeah. Yeah. One more time, let me hear you say yeah. Yeah. All right, so moving on. I'm okay, family, friends. Whatever they've said, whatever they've done, whatever they feel, whatever they think, I'm okay. But the one major thing that I've learned in this journey of mine is to be able to have a sense of humor. You have to know when you should laugh, when you shouldn't. But there's a lot more times you should than most of us actually do. So I'm going to share a few fun facts with you, and I want you, no matter what it is, I want you to just laugh at it, because I did. First one. When I visit the schools, the kids come up to me and say, "Hey, it's Mayor Noodle." Story behind that is I used to teach an after-school program, Arts 10566, thanks to Wilfredo, and the kids always called me Mr. Noodle. So when I became mayor, I remember walking in class after the election one day. I walked in the classroom, and the kids were all hiding under the desk, under the tables, as if I couldn't see them. And I opened the door, and I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" "You won, hey! So do we call you Mr. Noodle or Mayor Noodle?" Okay, whatever you want, you do it. Doesn't really sound too different to me. When I decided I was going to run for office, my mother was probably the most disappointed person on the planet. But when I won, she was proud of her baby. I get invited to speak at everything and anything you can think of, but the best part about it is they always serve you food. A lady mentioned one time that she would never vote for me because she was told that I smoke weed. So I told her she must have been smoking something to believe that. Told us a haiku section. Just this morning we had a 5K run, and usually mayors welcome the people to come and run. I wasn't invited to speak. Laugh. I'm one of the few mayors that have never been invited to share their vision at a Hudson Valley Chamber of Commerce breakfast. Ain't that funny? When I became mayor, Ms. Sheridan and a few others agreed that we would no longer allow elected officials to speak at the 9/11 ceremony at our riverfront. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to share my speech with you. Before I do that, I want to say thank you. Give a round of applause to any and all veterans that are here today. And I just want you all to just envision being outside at a beautiful riverfront, right next to a diving man and a bell, and luckily the train is very silent today. So just imagine that you're at this riverfront with me right here in Peekskill. Welcome everyone, and thank you all for attending this ceremony this evening. Worldwide, people are standing united this day to recognize one of the most horrific tragedies the United States have ever witnessed or experienced. The attack on the World Trade Center on 9/11 resulted in the largest loss of life by a foreign attack on American soil. These attacks reminded many of us during that time, especially, the power of hate and misunderstandings. This also taught us the power of the people, the power of the American people. 9/11 attacks was one of the worst things that could have ever happened to this country thus far, but it brought out the best in us. This country is going through racism and still is, through wars and still is, through hate and still is. But to us and many other countries in the world, America is the best country on this planet. We have strong opinions on what's wrong and right, and we stand for what we believe in, because that's the American way. So I ask everyone here to take a moment, close your eyes, literally. Keep them closed, and just try to imagine this for a moment. Sitting on a plane, headed from a relative's home for a wedding, or on a business trip for work, ending your vacation. Imagine sitting in an office, looking out the window as you always do. Imagine sitting down on a plane and your plane being hijacked, and you can't believe what's happening. Imagine sitting in your office window and there's a plane coming right for you. All you can think of is your family and loved ones. Is this the end? Now imagine getting a call that a building is on fire from a plane crashing into it. Another building has been hit from another plane. All you can think of is, I have to save these people. There are people in those buildings that have families at home that they have to get to. They have husbands and wives that they have to return to. Children they have to be parents for. I have to respond to this call because their family needs them, and it's my job to ensure they get home. Because that's the American way. How can I help the next person? Said this firefighter. That's the American way. Let's stand together as a nation to reflect on this history of our country and how far we've come. Let's see how far we have to go and plan a way to get there. The American way should always be giving a helping hand so the person next to me can live life to the fullest with the support of the human race. Thy neighbor. It's the American way. On September 11, 2001, nearly 3,000 people were killed. 400 were police officers and firefighters, and the terrorist attacks at the World Trade Center in New York City, and the Pentagon building, and in Washington, D.C., and a plane crash near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Honoring the dedicated men and women of the United States Armed Forces who fight tirelessly every day for our safety and freedom, both at home and abroad, should always be the American way. We are all standing here because we love one another. Because despite our differences, we are all affected by these attacks, because when it's all said and done, united we stand, divided we fall. That's the American way. Let 9/11 not be the only day you stand with the people in this nation, because you'd be doing a disservice to those who stand in the line of fire for you every day. Those who run into buildings for you every day. Let those who gave their lives for you know that your rights are appreciated by living the American way. A good friend of mine's father died from those attacks, and he didn't do it because he had to. He did it because that's the American way. Let us never forget the tragedy this country faces. Let us always remember the strength this country has. God bless you all. God bless America, and God bless one of the greatest cities on earth. Peace again, New York. Thank you. So going back to why we laugh, I feel like people are missing out on what I have to say. So your loss, not mine. This next artist coming to the stage has made me laugh through some of the hardest times in my life. She doesn't even realize it. I follow her on Instagram. Even when I'm in a bad mood, when I'm sad, when I'm tired, when my fiance has an attitude, whatever the situation is, I go to her Instagram and just look at what she's doing, look at what she's saying, and I laugh. And I realize life isn't really that bad. It's just not that bad. All of the stuff that I've seen and heard, I have a sense of humor that's helped me get through it, and this is one of those people that helped me get there. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my favorite comedian, Kelly.
Those that move on to the next chapter of life. We're doing this for you, and we're doing it all night. And everybody in the family here for this occasion. Hold your glass up to the sky, baby, we made it. And everyone else here celebrating the occasion. Hold your glass